Bruyne has come around. Haaland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. Gameweek 5. Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Welcome all to the stream. I saw a message just there from Pear Monga. He said, can we have a Nick Voltamada graphic for the intro? If you've got any requests, put them in chat now for players to add to the slideshow at the start of the streams. Because I've still got a few spare slots. So if there's any players missing, do let me know. Maybe there's some players I need to replace as well. I've got like Rodgers, I've got Verts on there as well. I need to get rid of them in the intro, to be honest with you, because they don't belong on there. But if you've got any players to request for the intro slides, do let me know. Welcome to the stream, everyone. How are we? I'm activating my wildcard as soon as today's stream ends. As soon as the stream ends, or sorry, as soon as the deadline passes, same thing I guess. I'm going to be activating the wildcard for Gameweek 6 because my team feels a little bit like it's getting to the point where it's a bit on the ropes. Like, I kind of want to swap Salah to Haaland. That's going to use up 2 free transfers, so I could just wildcard that. I've got Murillo flagged. I've got a few problems here and there in the team. Rodgers and Watkins. Strand Larson. Yeah, I need to add Strand Larson. Toffolo. I'm not adding Krupi Jr. to the intro. Surely not. How we doing, Jago? Soberslai? Yeah, Semenyo. I think Semenyo's in there in the intro. Donnarumma's a good shout, yeah. Let me write a few of these down. Donnarumma. What was the other one? Xavi Simons, that's a good shout. Was Wood not on there? I guess I'll add him. I thought. Anyone wondering if Wood actually starts this game against Burnley? I hate to say this for all the Wood owners, but Did Jesus not get a brace in the League Cup and he brought him off early? We'll see. I don't want to fearmonger with Wood. Obviously, you keep him if you've got him. Foden, yeah, good shout. So I've got Donnarumma, Xavi Simons, Wood and Foden to add to the intro. I think that should be enough. And Mbumo, was he not on there? Mbumo, okay, that's 5. Esteval. I'm trying to add players that are like 100% FPL assets or factors in FPL right now, and I just don't know if Esteval is. I know some people have got him, but I just don't think he's going to be reliable enough for starts just yet and for minutes and so on. Morning, Heather. How we doing? Anyway, welcome all to the stream. We've got Oto here. We've got Crazy, Brother. We've got Akib, Harvell, Dan, Heather, Ed, Benjamin, Henning, Senor Lump, Matt, Razan, Kirari, Stick, Vina, Gareth, Rakish, Ketan, Tommy, Vina, Ludovici. Welcome all to the stream. So yeah, as always, if you've got any questions, chuck them in the chat and I'll answer as many as I can. Yeah, I don't know where Teddy is. He was on my lap all this morning, but he's disappeared. He'll be back later, I'm sure. Wood better not be benched. I think there's genuinely a chance, just based on the League Cup, but if I was to guess, I would say he probably starts. Hey dude, lovely smile, makes my day. Is Voltemada a good pick? I think if I was picking a forward around that price, I think I'd still rather go Evan Nilsson right now. But I don't think he's a bad pick either. I think I'd rather Evan Nilsson if I was going the same price. Or Strand Larsen for like, what is he, 0.6, 0.7 cheaper. But not a bad pick. Obviously scored in his debut as well. Discreet says, what are we saying for chips, folks? I'm looking to wildcard for Gameweek 6. So like as soon as this stream ends, I'm activating the wildcard later. I'll try and catch some price rises because I think there's a few players that might rise tonight. And then I'll probably bench boost Gameweek 7 or 8. Who went up last night? Oh, some of these are so annoying because I will have at least 2 of these on my wildcard. Romero, how many price rises did you guys get last night? Romero went up, Lacroix went up, Enzo, Semenyo and Senesi all went up. 5 rises. Loads of falls again. Sesko went down. No one of note really fell last night. I thought that was the other Anderson. Loads of 3.9 mil defenders already. But to be fair, this season there's so many 4 mil defenders that actually play, so I don't think we have to scrape that far with budget. 2 rises, nice. I think my team value, yeah, my team value is 100.1 million. Is anyone on under 100 million team value now after price changes? I'm literally just head above water right now. 99.8 team value, 0.3 mil on the bank. Xavi and Timber going up. Yeah, Timber's tempting me, you know. I don't know if I can squeeze him in if I go for a third forward. Because the annoying thing about the bench boost is I can't pick a 4.4 mil forward like you or one of the other ones. Because I still want to bench boost, so therefore you have to pick someone else. Like the cheapest I think you can go is Foster, who's 5 mil. From Burnley. Morning Oscar, wishing you a good gaming, love you. Morning Senior Lump. Yeah, so that's the annoying thing about still having the bench boost. How are we doing, Cheeseman Chris? Appreciate your comment on Reddit yesterday, I saw that. Did you see the Liverpool weather warning? I did not. You having a laugh? Is there a weather warning? What's the weather warning? Oh God. Liverpool weather warning. It's deja vu. Merseyside derby last season, it was called off for weather. Severe weather alert. No way. There's no way the game's at risk though, right? A 2-day-long yellow weather warning is in place for Merseyside as heavy rainfall sweeps across the county. I don't think it'd be like... I'm sure it's going to be lashing it down, but I don't think it's going to put the game at risk, surely, for rain. Last season it was the snow. And it made it unsafe for fans to get to the game, so... I think weather will be alright. Big scores because it's wet. Well, it can go two ways, can't it? Like, if it's absolutely lashing it down, soaking it, I think it can, like, hinder the quality of the football. But maybe. We'll see. I mean, the pitches have got amazing drainage, so I think it'll be fine. The weather alert is minor. It's yellow warning anyway. Last season was a red alert. Storm Salah on the way. Oh, I missed... let me get the set up. Thanks very much to Byron Kleb. Thank you very much, Byron, for becoming a member. Thank you for your support, Byron. What's your Gameweek 6 wildcard looking like? I will show you now what I'm thinking with the wildcard. So it'd be Raya in goal. I'll keep the Bravka. I'll probably swap Estev to Rodon. I like Leeds' fixtures slightly more, and I think they're going to be a better defence over the season than Burnley. It'd be Gabriel. And then Porro would be Senesi. Rodgers absolutely out of my team. Rodgers to Palmer. Salah. Who was it? Semenyo. They've got Leeds in Game Week 6, so that makes sense. I'll keep Reinders and I'll keep Bruno. I think I'll go Dewsbury Hall for this slot. And then it'll be Watkins to Haaland. Thanks for nothing, Watkins. Unless he scores this game week. Oh my god. Honestly, if they go 5 games in a row without scoring, that is honestly like FPL folklore. Especially being doubled up on Rodgers and Watkins. And then it would be Gw probably to Foster. That has 0.1 mil left in the bank, and that would be my wild card. That's where I'm at. Rate my wild card out of 10. This is for Game Week 6, not now. This is the tricky thing about this week. Salah's home to Everton, so wildcard this week's really awkward. But some people's teams are in such a difficult spot, you have no choice but to use it. But this will be for Game Week 6. 7. Why is everyone saying 7 out of 10? How could I improve it? Oh, is it because of Bruno? Mate, I'll captain him in Game Week 7. What do you mean? I'm captaining Bruno home to Sunderland in Game Week 7. Famous last words, but like Haaland does have Brentford away, but I think Bruno home to Sunderland's better. So, okay, so no one really likes the wildcard that much. It's a 7, 7.5. 6 out of 10. United are so cooked. Look, I'm going to keep hold of Bruno until there's a new manager in and he becomes essential again. That's how much I believe in Bruno still. Esteve over Rodon. I'm not so sure. Also, I'd have to bench boost in Game Week 7 or 8. Game Week 7, Leeds have got Spurs home. Not great, but Burnley have got Villa away. But I have to have Dubravka because I want a 4 mil keeper. Or I can use it in Game Week 8. Game Week 8's interesting because Burnley are home to Leeds. So I'd have Dubravka and Rodon playing each other there. But the catch is, in Game Week 8, Dewsbury Hall's got Man City and Anderson's got Arsenal. But Foster, as I say, has got Leeds as well. So I'd have 3 players in that game for the bench. Although I think I'd actually be starting Foster. So my bench would be Dubravka, Rodon, Anderson and Dewsbury Hall. So I'm not sure which way I'll go with the bench boost. Also, Game Week 8 is after an international break. Another bloody international break coming after Game Week 7. So there is also that risk. But I'm going to roll this game week, and that gets me up to 3 free transfers. And then in theory, I should be able to keep rolling and get up to at least 4, probably 5, unless I suddenly get loads of injuries. So that's the theory. And I'll go double Arsenal defence, because I just think the fixtures are so good from Game Week 7 onwards. Maybe if I flick over here, go to the fixture ticker. If we go like Game Week 7, you can see Arsenal top there. West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, Tottenham, Chelsea, Brentford. So it just makes sense to double up. I have looked at, like, if I just went without Foster and just stuck it out with Gw or another 4.4 mil forward, I think, yeah, I can just about afford Timber. But does Timber definitely start all games? And is that better when I'm going to have to bench boost Gw, who will get me like 1 point at most probably? Timber obviously like not completely nailed, but his upside's like crazy. He's outscored all the other Arsenal defenders. So there's also that. I think City defence is going to be very good with Donnarumma. And it's Burnley home as well. Brentford away, Everton home. So there is also that combination. But it means I have to go with Gw. Murillo starting, Oscar. Is that just a best guess, Alex? Because I was thinking of bench boosting, honestly, if we get Murillo news. But yeah, that's the team for this week. So I could save the wildcard next week and spend 3 transfers to swap Salah to Haaland. And swap Salah to Palmer. So it'd be Salah and Watkins to Palmer and Haaland. And then I'd have to sell Gakpo to like and die, something like that. But it's 3 free transfers used up. So I think I could probably wildcard, set up for the bench boost, and then roll. And if I get some rolled transfers together, I'm basically sitting on a second wildcard. And of course, in Game Week 60, and we get another 5 free transfers. So you have to keep that in mind. We have to spend our free transfers in Game Week 50, and there's no reason not to, because the very next week in Game Week 60, and we get topped up to 5 free transfers. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm literally not looking at questions in the chat. Van der Ven or a Stev? I think I'd go a Stev there, just about. Strand Larsen or Senesi? I think I would take the chance that Strand Larsen starts. I've heard rumours that he wasn't even injured and it was that he wanted a new contract. And then suspiciously, you guys have seen it, yesterday it was reported Strand Larsen signed a new long-term contract, 5-year. And then suddenly Pereira's like, yeah, he's available. So that's interesting. I think there's a chance he starts. I would take the chance when he's got a fixture like Leeds home. Does Isak start today? I'd be very surprised. I've asked the Liverpool account. I don't know if he's replied or seen it. No, not. He says nothing confirmed yet. No confirmed 11 yet. But if he gets anything, he said he'll let me know. Strand Larsen is your FPL talisman, Oscar. I love him. He's great. Like 6.4 mil as well. Great fixtures. Honestly, let me go back to the Tico. If we go down to like Game Week 7 to 10, look at that. Burnley, Sunderland. Sorry, Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley, Fulham. The next 4 are unbelievable for Strand Larsen. It's just a shame it's not absolutely clear-cut on his fitness, because he would be a really good purchase this week, I think. Strand Larsen on Murillo. Oh, I'd go Strand Larsen. Chewy, how we doing? He says, is there an appeal to start Dubravka over Sanchez? I think it's a proper 50-50 this week. Like, I was impressed how good they looked against Liverpool. They were really organised, but they did still concede a crazy amount of XG. And if you look at their season so far, 2.45 against Liverpool, 3.63 against Man United. I know there's a couple of pens in there. 2.32 against Spurs, clean sheet against Sunderland. I just can't. I think they probably both concede, if I'm honest. I was looking at the clean sheet odds, and Burnley are like 3% ahead. Burnley 22%, Chelsea 19%. And normally when it's that close, I tend to favour the home team, but it is Burnley, so I'm just thinking Chelsea are a better team. Better defence. I think they both concede, but I'm starting Sanchez. I might regret that one. I mean, what are you guys doing if you've got Sanchez and Dubravka? Let me stick a poll up. Sanchez or Dubravka? Dubravka. Oh, is everyone going Dubravka? Maybe I'm missing something. I think it's super close. You're bench boosting. Yeah, I guess you get both on a bench boost, yeah. Captains without Salah. If I didn't have Salah, I guess it would be... Palmer would be best, I think. And then Haaland. I mean, you could still just back Villa to finally turn it around. They have to turn it around at some point. They're not going to go 38 game weeks without scoring. And they've got Sunderland. But, yeah, probably a bit of a stretch too far going Watkins captain. They've got to turn it around at some point, though. I think he's going to change things around in the lineup. And it could finally have a positive effect. Harvey Elliott will start, get his full debut. Chris, how we doing? He says, hi mate, wildcard this week or Game Week 6 and why? Game Week 6, in my opinion. Because this week you've got, well, it depends on your team of course, but like I've got Salah and Gakpo home to Everton. And then in Game Week 6, the fixtures swing in City's favour. So it's an opportunity to pivot to Haaland. Where's City? Oh, sorry, let me go back to Game Week 6. Yeah, like Burnley home, Brentford away, Everton home. It's just those 3 in a row. Plus, you can hop on Arsenal. Like, Arsenal have got a really nice fixture run coming up there. 3rd from top. So I'm going to go double Arsenal defence. I don't have Semenyo, so I can get on Semenyo. I can move on my Villa assets who've been underperforming. It's team dependent, but there's a couple of fixture swings that I think make Game Week 6 really nice. Game Week 8 also works, and Game Week 13, there's some other windows, but I'm on Game Week 6 wildcard, so as soon as the deadline passes later, I'm activating it. I'm pressing the button. Dimitri says, would you bench boost Sanchez, Strand Larsen and Diet and Wilson? You're starting Dubravka and Estev. Yeah, I would, Dimitri. I would. I would get it out of the way, honestly. I think it's the most overrated chip. What do you guys think is the worst chip? Wildcard, free hit, bench boost, triple captain. For me, it's really close between bench boost and triple captain. I'd probably say bench boost is the worst one. Because also you have to spend more money on your bench, and that can have a knock-on effect to your starting 11. Assistant manager. All-out attack. Triple captain's a bit naff as well. But I don't like the bench boost. I used to love it. I used to do really well with the bench boost. And once upon a time, going back many years, the bench boost got me to rank 1 in the world. But last season I bench boosted in a double game week and got 4 points. Burns scored an own goal. You guys might remember. Burns scored an own goal on my bench boost. I had Wan-Bissaka who'd started like 20 games in a row and then missed that game entirely. It was like the worst chip I've ever played. Actually, that's a lie. The worst ever was triple captain Mane in a double game week. This is going back quite a bit now. It was a double game week. Mane was like going toe to toe with Salah. So I just thought, I'm going to go against Salah in this double game week. And Mane went off injured after like 17 minutes in the first game. And then Salah ended up getting like 17 points or something in a double game week. It was such a brutal swing. I didn't use the triple captain on Dennis. I know that's another infamous one. But I did captain Josh King that week. When he got, was it 2 points in the double or 3? And Dennis got -1. He got sent off in the first game. Eden says, would you bench boost Sanchez, Dubravka, Dewsbury Hall, Estev and King or save it? That's super close. I think I'd save it there. Because Dewsbury Hall's got Liverpool. King wouldn't be that confident. I mean, he should start, but does he get... He went off before 60 last match. I think I'd just about save it in your position, Eden. Dimitri's, I would use it. Your one, I wouldn't. Ludovici, thank you very much as well for becoming a member, mate. Appreciate you. Frank Jones says, Van der Ven or Murillo? Elliot Anderson or Reinders? I think, and maybe I'm wrong here, Murillo either starts or doesn't play at all. So I would go Murillo. And I would start Anderson definitely over Reinders. It's time to sell Villa players. 1 more week, Xenius. 1 more week. Or maybe 3 more weeks. They've got Burnley home coming up. No, I'm definitely selling them after this game week. Trust me. I'm selling them as soon as the deadline passes today. Activating the wildcard, and I'm getting rid of both Rodgers and Watkins. I can't believe how bad they've been. I totally misread Villa. Always 1 more week. It's the same with Wirtz, isn't it? I mean, what? Those of you that have got Wirtz, have you sold him? Are you selling him before the deadline, or are you giving him 1 more week, Everton home? I've seen some people going to Semenyo, which obviously you can afford in 1 move. C-Max says, which 2 should I bench between Goodmanson, Reinders, Livramento and King? So, who have Leeds got? Leeds have got Wolves away. Goodmanson, Reinders, Livramento and King. I would bench... I'd say King and Reinders, C-Mac. I mean, Arsenal away is about as tough as fixtures come. I've got Reinders benched myself. And then King, he went off before 60 last match. I would say Goodmanson and Livramento is what I would do there. Start those 2. James says, should I start Juve or Reinders this week? So West Ham home to Palace, Reinders Arsenal. I think I would start Juve for the home fixture against Palace. Really a coin toss, that one, James, but I would say start Juve. Very, very close, that. West Ham are just so unpredictable. Like, when you think they're going to get battered, they go and win 3-0 against Forest away. That said, they seem to be better in away games, and it is a home fixture, but I think I would start Juve there, just about. A Crip says, punting on Foden, you got a good feeling. Yeah, you know what? Pep's been properly singing his praises in the press conferences. You guys might have seen it. You can do worse than buying Foden, absolutely. I mean, personally, I wouldn't be buying him before Arsenal away, but I can see people going there. Game week 6, Burnley home, and then I think it's Brentford away, Everton home. Like, we know what you can do if you go back a couple of seasons. So, I don't hate the Foden pick, and I did look at it for the wildcard draft. Like, I could go Foden over Bruno there. Let me swap this back to how it was. So it was Raya in goal, and then it was it Romero? I mean, I could go Lacroix. There's a few options for that slot there. What have I done here? And then it was Foster. This was the wildcard draft. Everyone was just tuning in for Game Week 6. I'm activating the wildcard later today. So yeah, you could do like Foden over Reinders and really target that Burnley home fixture, because that could be a goal fest, in fairness. It's just a little bit, it feels a little bit ropey, like if you need to bench boost still with like Foden and Reinders. Reinders, it does seem nailed, but you just never know with Pep, and it just feels a bit ropey to bench boost with 2 City mids. But yeah, I like the Foden pick in a nutshell. Bertman, thanks for the super chat. He says, I can have 4 free transfers Game Week 6, so I could possibly save the wildcard. Any advantage there, e.g. using it later or being able to triple captain Haaland Game Week 6? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can triple captain if you don't activate the wildcard Game Week 6. I have considered that myself. And it's trickier if you're on 4 free transfers, because in theory, after wildcard, you should be able to save a couple transfers. Yeah, it's really hard to like say which way is the better way of doing it, Bertman. I think saving the wildcard has a lot of potential. Like, you could use it in Game Week 8, or you could save it to Game Week 13. Yeah, I don't know. I did go back and forth on this one, and I kind of just want to get the bench boost out of the way as well. So, for me, I was thinking roll, wildcard, and then roll up to 5 free transfers and use the bench boost. And then I'll triple captain. I think Palmer's got like Sunderland home or something coming up. And Salah's got Leeds home, is it? In like Game Week, is it Game Week 13? Is that the week? Game Week 14. Game Week 14, Salah's got Sunderland home. So yeah, there's a couple of other opportunities there to use it. I think Haaland actually has a good fixture as well around them. Is it the next week? In Game Week... Yeah, Game Week 15, Haaland's got Sunderland home as well. So there are a couple of other triple captain opportunities later. I would want to use it on Salah or Haaland personally. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, Bertman, without seeing your team. But for me, I just slightly favoured wildcarding and then rolling up to 5. And that is also like a wildcard in itself. And just kind of get ahead of the template a bit and catch a few price rises. Yeah, I think both are honestly viable strategies. Eden says, can you pick one into the first 11 this week? Esteve, Dewsbury Hall, King and Rodon. I would go Esteve. I think there's a good chance he might hit Defcons this week. Rodon's nice as well. I wouldn't start Dewsbury Hall or King, so it's Rodon or Esteve. I think I'd just lean towards Esteve there, Edom. Rodon first on the bench, and then Dewsbury Hall, and then King. Nick says, I need a 1 week, 6 million or under defender for the bench boost. You've got Milenkovic, Porro, Munoz and Lacroix. You're thinking Kanate or Anderson, can't decide. You're going to wildcard Game Week 6. If you can, Nick, I would wait and see if we get some leaks nearer the deadline, because if we hear, like Frimpong starts or something, I would go for him for 1 week. But yeah, Konate's nice. They've got the best clean sheet odds this week. Is there anyone else? Yeah, I don't know if I'd go double Forest against Burnley. No, I think I'd go Konate otherwise. I'd probably go Konate over Anderson as well and just back the clean sheet. But yeah, keep an eye out in case we get some team news, because I think Frimpong is under 6, isn't he? Oh, Geo Wizard in the chat. Good to see you, man. I absolutely loved your series, going across London without crossing the road. So good, honestly, like peak Geo Wizard content. He says, would you start Gabriel or Van der Ven? Oh, good question. Gabriel or Van der Ven? Let's see what the clean sheet odds say. My initial instinct was Gabriel. Arsenal 32. So, but yeah, I should caveat that the clean sheet odds are pretty shocking this week. Like Arsenal 32, Spurs 19%. Yeah, I'd go Gabriel. I'd go Gabriel start. I think he's probably likelier to get you DEFCONs as well, if nothing else. But they might both concede, to be honest. I know, Tom's content's genuinely elite. I love it. And I can massively relate. Every time he passes a pub and he's thinking about nipping in for a beer, I'm like, I'd be exactly the same. Keep up the good content. So, next question was from Ben. He says, who do I bench in this team? He's got Sanchez, Verbruggen, Van Dijk, Anderson, Murillo, Porro, Richards, Palmer, Wirtz, Bruno, Anderson, Kudus, Mateta, João Pedro and Wood. So, I would... I'd bench Verbruggen. Oh, this is tricky, this one. I'd bench... You've got such a strong team. Have you used your bench boost already, Ben? I'd probably just bench Murillo, just in case. Just in case, like, he comes off the bench, because you've got the depth. So bench Verbruggen, bench Murillo, bench Anderson, and bench Richards. Yeah. Used it already. Alright, that makes sense, because your team is like so stacked on the bench there. Right, so 57% say start Sanchez, 43% Dubravka. Interesting. Alright, I'll put another poll up. How many chips have you used, including this week? 0, 1, 2, 3. Ray Thomas, thank you very much for the super chat as well. Jay Higgins, thanks for the 11 months as well. He says, Dubravka, Stev, Dewsbury Hall, Reinders. Do I bench boost that? I think I would, Jay, honestly. I think I would just get it out of the way. It's not the best bench, but I think the bench boost, as we were saying, I think it's such an overrated chip. I think it's probably the worst chip of all of them. Like, to give you context, if Murillo was confirmed fit, I was considering using it with my bench, which is weaker than your bench. Like, if Murillo was 100%, I probably would have used it this game week, but I can't really take the chance now. But yeah, I would bench boost that. Considering my bench is the same, except you've got Dewsbury Hall, I've got Gw. Tom went Dubravka. Arma says, hi Oscar, I hope you're feeling well. Is it too far-fetched to triple captain Salah this week? I don't think it's far-fetched, but I think there's better weeks in the future. Like Burnley home to Haaland home to Burnley game week 6. Salah, in theory, should do better home to Sunderland game week 14. Even Leeds away game week 15, but I think Sunderland home is better than Everton this week. I don't think it's a bad shout, but I think there's better opportunities to use it in a nutshell. Mark said, hi Oscar, you've got Sanchez, Gabriel, Fpl Gw5. Your bench is a Stev, Dubravka, Gw, and injured Sar. Thoughts? Do I just roll this week? So you're playing a 4-4-2. Yeah, I would roll. I would roll in your position, Mark. I don't think your team's desperate for a transfer there. And you'll be able to do more of roll transfers next week, like 2 moves to sell Sar for someone else, or Sar could be back by then. Yeah, I don't think your team's in a position where you need to spend a transfer. And also, it's like, where do you spend it? There's not many options you can go from Sar, depending on how much you've got in the bank. Whereas next week, there could be more options if you're using 2 transfers in combination. Or maybe you'll be able to roll again next week, and then you sell Wood after he's got, is it Sunderland home? Yeah, I think you're fine to roll there. This is the thing, like, with a team like that, you look at it and you think, I could sell Sar for someone like Anderson, but you have to also keep in mind in FPL that sometimes doing nothing is better longer term. And that's really tricky in FPL. Like, I still struggle with that because you think, oh, I could do this move right now. But sometimes you have to think even further ahead in FPL. Like, what could I do later that would be even better? And there could be better moves for you to potentially make later. Or maybe a better example is in Gameweek 6, you could sell Salah for a cheaper mid and upgrade one of your forwards to Haaland. Like, that's a way better way of using your free transfers than selling Sar this week for a slightly better 11. So yeah, I would roll, Mark. Zelda says, did Glasner just say Mateta needs a rest? He did say he's looking really tired, but he might have been having a pop at the board for like not making more signings. Like, we've just come back from an international break. I can't imagine he's getting benched next match, especially when Nketiah is not back yet. That was the quote. He said, I think Mateta honestly needs a break. You saw his chance. Yeah, you saw his chance was just fatigue from playing every game, every minute. In the second half, I considered who could play striker, Klein, Cardines or Rodney. I don't even know if these are real players. They sound like regens. Cardines and Rodney. But yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be benched, honestly. Luke says, no one considering Robin Ruffs. I'm not personally for 4.5 mil. I'd rather just go for one of the defenders for 4 mil. Like, what's he called? Alderete. There's a few 4 mil defenders, isn't there? There's Reinildo. I'd rather those over spending 4.5 mil on Ruffs. Did I miss a super chat? FPL Norway. Where was it? I didn't see it. Sorry if I missed that. Oh, he said, please don't listen to some. Liverpool news would be so helpful. Yeah, I've asked him, and if he gets anything, he said he'll send it to me. Bit annoying. So what happened last game, Mick? I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but this guy had been sending me Liverpool team news since Gameweek 30 last season. Since Gameweek 30 last season. This is how long I took before sharing it, because I wanted to be 1,000,000% sure. And he told me some really like specific stuff last season, like this game, Jones is going to be playing right back for the first time. Kelleher's in goal for Alisson. Loads of specific stuff like that. And he's been sending me the full 11. And last week he sent me the team. And what he'd sent me was what he'd been told by a Liverpool member of staff, how they'd been lining up in training. And there was one difference in that lineup, which was Bradley starting. And he did still send me another message saying, sorry, it's actually going to be McAllister starting. And he sent me that before the lineups dropped. And he's absolutely reliable. But obviously, because I tweeted that one thing wrong once, it's kind of like people are unforgiving once you say something wrong. So I'm not going to bother tweeting anything in terms of Liverpool news, but I think what I'll do, I'll still put it in the bottom left widget where it says starts and bench, because I do genuinely know he's trustworthy and reliable. So I think there could be good value in that, especially in weeks like now and next week when there's a good chance of news before the deadline, and people want to know, like, is Ekatike going to start? Is Gakpo going to start? Is Isak going to start? So anyway, I've asked him. FPL Train says almost 1,800 join the live, just under 200 likes. Come on, guys, give it a like. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, if anyone's enjoying the stream, like it. If you're not, then dislike it. That's all right as well. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you're subscribed as well. It's completely free. I do these streams every deadline. I make FPL videos. You probably knew that already, but if you're not subscribed, hit the button below. Anyway, let me carry on with the questions. ADS says start 2, bench 2, Murillo, Tarkowski, Anderson, and Estev. I definitely wouldn't start Tarkowski. I know he's a DC's beast, but I wouldn't start him at Anfield. I would start Anderson, and I would start Murillo with Estev first on bench. Matty says, on a wildcard and you're going bench boost 8, do I keep Concert or go Anderson? I looked at that as well, and I think Anderson's still worth it despite the Game Week 8 fixture. Like, I'm picking Anderson even if I end up wildcarding Game Week 8 myself, just because outside of that he's so good. And it's the rotation as well with Senesi. Like, if I sort by rotation on Bournemouth, or am I chatting shit? From Game Week, sorry, I'm looking from Game Week 7. Let me just clear those so you can see the rotation. Oh, what have I done here? Clear that. Clear that. Clear that. I'm just trying to show you the rotation. Right, here we go. So it's, if you look at which one you start there, so this is Senesi and Anderson. You go Senesi, Senesi, Senesi. And then from Game Week 10, you drop Senesi to bench, Anderson, Anderson, Anderson. Game Week 13 back to Senesi, Game Week 14 Senesi, Game Week 15 Anderson, 16 Anderson, 17 either of them. So I just think, considering how good they are for defensive contributions and they rotate pretty nicely, I would be going Senesi and Anderson on a wildcard, despite the fixtures not being perfect to bench boost, if that makes sense. And this is the thing like I'm saying about bench boost, is it makes you like overthink it and you start going for other players, whereas longer term, Anderson should more than outscore Concert outside of that one crap Game Week 8 fixture, if you know what I mean. And ultimately, that's what matters, points. Total points. Eden says, I used the wildcard to Sanchez, Porro, Munoz, Livramento, Dewsbury Hall, Semenyo, Salah. So you've gone Mateta and Haaland, weak bench, not sure between Mateta and Wood. I wouldn't go either on a wildcard. I'd find a way to squeeze in Gyökeres and not go Salah. But I understand it. I do get it. Like, there's a chance that going both ends up the best way to go. But I would probably go Evan Nilsson over Mateta if I were you. I think that frees up a little bit of money for you as well, does it not? So you'll have an extra 0.5, 0.6 million with Evan Nilsson. Just looking at what you could upgrade with that money. Like, you could go Dewsbury Hall to Reinders. How about that? I think that's better. I think Reinders and Evan Nilsson is better than Dewsbury Hall and Mateta. I know this week Mateta's got the fixture, but longer term, I think that's a better, stronger combination. Or you could use the money to upgrade your bench, since you mentioned that it's weak. But yeah, other than that, nice picks. Porro, I'm a bit less sure on now. He's not taking the corners and set pieces anymore. I think Xavi and others have been taking them, so I'm less keen on him. Like, if you can find the money, I'd rather squeeze in Gabriel, Raya than Sanchez and Porro. I wouldn't go Sanchez either. Just based on that Maresca quote saying Sanchez cannot play every game. Yeah, I'd try and squeeze in Raya and Gabriel if I were you. I'll show you the wildcard draft I put together. This is for Game Week 6, but if I was wildcarding this week, it'd be very similar to that. If you've bench boosted already, then obviously drop Foster down to someone cheaper. But that's where I'm at with the Game Week 6 bench wildcard, and it's going to be very close to that, what I end up with. Mayank says, 2 to start, Van der Ven, Nico or Cucurella. I'd start Nico. Van der Ven versus Cuckoo's quite close, but I would go Cucurella. and then bench Van der Ven. Despite what happened to last game. I know he scored last game and all that, big haul, but I'd rather Nico and Cucurella this week. Really close that one though, but yeah, that's what I would do there. Victor, thanks for the super chat as well. Did you mean to put a message in that? I'm just trying to see if you put anything in chat. He didn't. Well, thank you very much, Victor. Who are you benching with that wild card? It would be... Well, in Game Week 6, it'd be Dubravka bench, Rodon bench, Foster benched. And then, is it Romero? No. And then Anderson, I think. Yeah. Dubravka, Rodon, Anderson, Foster in Game Week 6. This is a Game Week 6 wildcard, but if I was using it now, it'd be similar. I mean, if I went with that team for this week, I'd bench Dewsbury Hall. Maybe I'd bench Reinders and go 4-3-3 with those four and bench Rodon. Byron says, advice please, goalkeepers Dubravka, Pope. So I would start Pope personally. Van der Ven, Porro, Cucurella, Calafiori, Livramento, Gakpo, Grealish, Semenyo, Kudu, Reinders, Haaland, Ekitike, Pedro. Bench boost played in Game Week 4. So I'd play Pope, I'd play Porro, Cucurella, Calafiori and Livramento. So you bench Dubravka and Van der Ven. Play Gakpo, Semenyo, Kudus. And then you start Haaland, Ekitike and João Pedro. So you roll this week in a nutshell. And you bench Grealish and Reinders and Van der Ven and Dubravka and play 4-3-3. And then I would look to get rid of Ekitike in Game Week 6 because I think it's a matter of time. Maybe even this game week, but I don't think this game week that Isak starts ahead of him. So yeah, that's what I would do, Byron. Mr. F says, hey Oscar, my team is Sals, Lacroix, Porro, Steven, Dai, Salo, bench Dubravka, Raniolo, Gu, Wan-Bissaka. I'm thinking Enzo to Anderson stack or Bruno to Semenyo. Got nothing in the bank. Why would you want to sell Enzo? I feel like Enzo's a solid pick still. I was looking at buying Enzo in Game Week 6 on the wildcard. I don't think you need to do Enzo to Anderson. I think that's pretty sideways. Stack is a downgrade. Anderson probably a downgrade as well this week. I think Bruno to Semenyo is also pretty sideways. I think you don't do anything, Mr. F, honestly. It's one of those, like, maybe Anderson does score against Burnley, Semenyo gets something, but I think Bruno to Semenyo's sideways at best. And I think Enzo, selling Enzo to Anderson or Stack is pretty sideways as well. I would roll Mr. F. When Reinders scores that brace against Arsenal, don't. He's second on my bench. There's no way he's making it on for me this week as well. Victor says, Bruno or Palmer or Watkins or Haaland captain. I would captain Palmer out of those, I would say. What's the captain widget saying? Salah 5 stars, Bruno 3, Wirtz, Semenyo, and Palmer 2. I think Palmer captain. He looked really sharp against Bayern. Scored a brilliant goal. And then he scored a second one, but it was like a few inches offside. I would rather Palmer than Bruno, despite Bruno getting the extra star here. Yeah, I'd captain Palmer. Palmer captain, if you don't have Salah. This is from FPL.page, by the way, if anyone isn't aware or doesn't use it. Got an app as well, FPL Focal in the App Store. It's actually 278,000 managers use it now. So if you haven't got it, search FPL Focal in the App Store. There's a link below. It's got loads of stuff like that. Bonus points, live rank checker, goal scorer odds, articles, suspension tracker. I need to update it now. 278,000 users. How mad is that? We'll give away some premium memberships as well, in fact, shortly. So yeah, opportunity to get some premium memberships for the app as well. Let me keep going with the questions. Adam, thanks for the 21 months. He says, sell Murillo or just hold till next week. I would hold him, Adam, personally. It's inconclusive, like what Postacoglu said, but I think it's not worth spending a transfer this week. Just keep hold of him and then decide next week. I mean, next week as well, it's Sunderland home, is it not? So, I would keep him, personally. Captaincy priority. I think Salah's the best this week. And then after that, Palmer, Haaland, Bruno are all good. Watkins, still potential. I know he's not scored or done anything, but he's got Sunderland. Best captaincy options than the top 3 experts picks. This is the captain matrix from the website. Victor says, cheers mate, I've been drinking in the States and I did mess up the first super chat going to captain Richarlison. Richarlison captain. I mean, I do think he'll start. I think that's a pretty rogue captain because I don't think he'll play 90, but I could be wrong. Richarlison captain. I mean, there must be a very small handful of managers doing that, and I hope it comes off you, but that I can't get behind Richarlison captain when he's got Brighton away. Katie says, hi Oscar, I'm relishing being ahead of you, however temporary. I mean, I keep trying to convince myself it's a marathon, not a sprint. We'll see. Last season in Game Week 7, I was like 2.7 million in Game Week 7 and finished top 5k. So it shows you like how you can make a comeback from anywhere or just about anywhere. So I'm keeping that at the back of my head. If I'm still like 2.7 million by Game Week 19, then a different story. But I've not used any chips yet as well. So I'm hoping the Game Week 6 wildcard and the Game Week 7 or 8 bench boost will give me a nudge up the ranks. Not sure when I'll use the free hit yet. Have any of you guys thought about that? When are you free hitting? So how many chips have you used? 57% none, 30% 1, 9% 2, and 3% 3. Alright, let's get a captain poll up. Alright, poll is up. If you go for other, then tell us in chat who your other is. Enjoy the States, Victor. Watkins captain all the way. Mate, I hope you're right, Nova. I really hope you're right. Because I've held him for 5 game weeks. And not just Watkins, but I've got Rodgers and Watkins. And they literally haven't done anything. Not just those two. The entire team haven't scored in the league. The first 4 games. It's by far their worst goal scoring start to a season ever. And surely they can't go goalless again against Sunderland. Mark says, rate my team. Sanchez, Van der Ven, Riches, Porrendice, Salah, Bruno, Semenyo, Pedro, Ekatike, Mateta, benches Dubravka, Milenkovic, Reinildo and Reinders. Yeah, nice team. I would start Milenkovic over Van der Ven. Any other things I would change here? And Dyer's a bit dodgy against Liverpool, but I think I'd still start him over Van der Ven. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to make a transfer if you haven't already. Ekatike obviously could be a problem soon, so if you can roll this week, if you haven't made a transfer, then that would be a good position to be in. Because it could be something like Ekatike to Haaland and Salah down to a cheaper mid in Game Week 6. Something you could do there. Nice team though. Don't need to make any changes other than the starting 11. I'd start Milenkovic over Van der Ven. That's it. Van der Ven or Juve? Van der Ven. Watkins is going to do nothing. Yashes, wildcard, Donnarumma or Raya, Van der Ven, Senesi, Timber, Rodon, Lacroix, Livramento, Palmer, Gakpo, Semenyo, Reinders, King, Haaland, João Pedro, Gyökeres, suggestions and captain. I did look at Timber, and I have looked at Donnarumma. I wouldn't go Donnarumma unless you were going double Arsenal defence with Gabriel and Timber. Timber does feel a little bit dodgy though. Like if you went Gabriel and Saliba, then I think Donnarumma, if you can afford all of those. I mean, this is where I'm at with my Game Week 6 wildcard. And if I was going to wildcard this week, it would be very similar, if not the same. Obviously, it depends on if you've bench boosted or not as well. Like, I've not, so I have to go someone that's going to play as the third forward. Otherwise, I'd have Gw or... Not Gw, I'd go for one of the other 4.4 mil forwards rather than having a Chelsea slot used up. There's quite a few 4.4 mil forwards already. Something to keep in mind, if anyone's wildcarding and needs one, don't go Gw, just go for one of the other ones. But yeah, it's a good defence. I think Raya's better than Donnarumma longer term, but as I say, I'd go Donnarumma if you go and double Arsenal defence with, you know, Gabriel, Saliba, something like that. But yeah, I picked a very similar team. So, yeah, nice setup. FPL Maniac says, hypothetically, if you had Palmer and Salah, who would you have captained this game with? Good luck, Oscar. I hope you get a big fat green arrow. If I had both, I'd still captain Salah. Honestly. He's just a better FPL asset. He's going to... Wow. We'll have to see, because obviously he's got AFCON. I was going to say Salah scores more points. Who do you guys think scores the most points this season between Salah, Palmer, and Haaland? Considering Salah is the GOAT of FPL, but he does have AFCON, so he could miss like 4 games maybe. I think he still could outscore Palmer, honestly. But yeah, I'd captain Salah this week. Better fixture. You reckon Haaland scores the most points? Salah, 68% captain. Haaland 10%, Palmer 8%, and other 14%. Is that recency bias though? Are you guys saying Haaland just because he's like smashing it right now? Like, did anyone watch Liverpool in the Champions League? Salah had a goal and assist against Atletico Madrid after like 5 minutes. That's the Salah we've come to know over the years and we've not seen in the league so far. But things can change fast in FPL. Like, if he does that again this game week against Everton, and suddenly he shoots up in terms of overall points and he's on, you know, 3 goals, 1 assist from 5 games. Sorry, 3 goals, 2 assists from 5. Suddenly that's 5 returns in 5. Rashford triple captain. Are any of you playing Champions League Fantasy? That's just started, obviously. Let me do a poll on that. I did content on it before, and obviously there's not the same appetite that there is for FPL, so I don't know if I'll ever bother again. But I know some people play it on the side of FPL as like an additional game. In fact, do you guys play any other fantasy games other than Champions League Fantasy and FPL? Any other leagues? Milkman says, Gakpo or Watkins captain, and don't worry on wildcard next game week. If I was picking either of those, I'd go Watkins, just because I'm not sure on Gakpo's minutes as much. Yeah, if I was picking either of those, Milkman, it'd be Watkins. EFL Fantasy. EFL Fantasy is an interesting one, right? Is that the one where you have to pick... Is it 7 players? And you get like... You pick a new team every week. It's like a free hit every week. And you pick players from... Someone's going to have to explain it better than me. But is it Championship down to League 2? And you pick like 7 players every week with unlimited transfers. Fan team, fan tracks. F1 Fantasy. What's AFL Fantasy? AFL. What league is that? Bundesliga Fantasy. FPL best fantasy game by far. I mean, it's got by far the biggest player base. There's already 11.8 million, which means it's already by far the biggest FPL season ever. Oh, it's Australia. Yeah, I was wondering, is it Australia or like Austria or something? Oh, AFCON fantasy. No, it's AFCON, isn't it? Or not? Previously the biggest ever season was 11.3 million managers. And right now there's 11.8. So it's already 500,000 more than the biggest FPL season ever. That the biggest season ever had by Gameweek 38. And we've already got 500k more by the Gameweek 5 deadline. So it's mad, just keeps growing and growing. League of Ireland fantasy. Oh, it is Australian. I thought it was, yeah, okay. AFCON do have one, so that'll be out later. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not making content for that. I probably won't play it, but yeah, for me, it's just FPL. I think I'd fry my brain if I started playing too many fantasy games. I really have to live and breathe fantasy. Like, it's the weekend and I'm doing a stream. Tomorrow I'll do a video. Like, every day's FPL for me. And that's why, actually, I don't really watch much FPL content anymore. Like, there's so many unbelievably good channels. It's more stacked than ever, YouTube, in terms of the quality of content. And it's great, because, like, when there's more and more creators, it becomes, like, competitive in the sense that people are incentivized to make their content better, the better graphics, presentation. Like, if you look at the FPL content landscape 2 years ago, and then go back 2 years before that, it's changed so much, and it's like better and better in terms of the quality of content to watch. Anyway, which channels do you guys watch besides this one, obviously? Do you watch Harry, Ross, Andy, Mates, FPL Wire, FPL Tom, Fran, Planet FPL, Black Box? Be honest, do you hate other content creators? I literally don't hate any content creators. Like, some I know better than others, for sure, but I'm friendly with all of them, for sure. Harry and Ross, like, I'm by far the closest with. Like, we talk every day. What did that say? Focal's in the top 20 FPL YouTubers. Mate, there's probably only about 25. I'll take that, thank you very much. Honestly, I'll take the top 20. Top 20 FPL YouTubers. You'll never sing that. Harry, Ross, let's talk FPL, mate. FPL Tips, sorry, I completely forgot about him. He's like one of the GOATs in terms of how long he's been making content. I used to watch FPL Tips before I ever started content, years before that. My lunch break would be watching him. Back when I worked an office job. Harry and Andy, Focal and Andy. You mostly, a little bit of Raptor and a little bit of Mate. You watch from the toilet. Oh, not this again. Where's everyone watching from right now then? I'll ask the question. Where's everyone tuned in from? Are you on the sofa? Are you in bed? On the toilet? Are you out and about on your phone? Whereabouts is everyone tuned in from? Yeah, Fran's great. You're in bed, car, desk, bed. God, everyone's in bed still. Sofa, recliner, couch, work. You work. Bed, just woke up. You're in a plane. No shot you're in a plane watching my FPL stream. Fair play. Toilet. That's class, watching an FPL stream on a plane if you're not winding me up. Toilet is underrated. I think if I asked where do you actually watch the videos from, I bet you a lot of people would say toilet. But maybe differently for the streams because these are so long. But my videos are always generally pretty short, so. Gregor's is on the toilet. You're on a plane too? No ways. Mate, isn't it insanely expensive to have internet on a plane? Or are you in like first class or something? Every time I've ever been on a plane and I've looked at buying internet, it's like crazy expensive. So I've never done it, but that's really cool. 10-minute isn't short. That's true. I think my content's pretty short compared to a lot of channels, like the average duration of videos in the FPL space. But yeah, that's true. What did I get to with chat? Sorry. The Let's Talk Fulham podcast. Are you considering Kevin in your wildcard? Who is Kevin? Sharda. Who's Kevin? It's why you and Tips are must watch. You keep it brief and to the point. Thank you very much. Raptor does a film length. I always wind him up about that. Yeah, I don't know who Kevin is. Kevin McAllister. Fulham Kevin. Who's Fulham Kevin? Is this a player I don't know? 6 million mid. You know what? He completely was not on my radar. I don't know anything about him. 6 million after playing 14 minutes. Not a chance. Who is he? Who's Kevin? Oh, I'm sorry I don't know him as well, because I know you're a Fulham podcast, so I apologise for not knowing who Kevin is. I mean, if he starts hitting form, like, maybe I'll consider him, but 6 mil is a bit steep. Do you have one account or multiple FPL accounts? I've just got one FPL account. I would love to have more than one to do stuff like a community team, like where the channel gets to run a team, but if I did that, someone out there would go and report me and say, FPL Focal's got 2 teams, that's not allowed, you're going to have to please remove the second team. So it's just not worth me doing it. It's just not worth it. Even though it'd just be a fun community thing. The thing is, technically, if that team did do really well, imagine that team comes 9,999th and someone misses out on top 10k because I've made a second community team. It just wouldn't be fair on that one manager. It's very, very unlikely, but obviously that's why. Wait, is 10,000 top 10k? Or is 9,999 top 10k? Where does top 10k start? So 22% are playing it, 78% don't. Where does a top 10k rank start? 10,999. I'm saying this and I'm like, I'm ranked in the millions, but I'm actually not sure what the answer is. The poll is up, so let's get to the bottom of that. Victor, thank you very much. He says, you're the one and only. Thank you very much, Victor. I appreciate you. Thanks very much for that. Twitch Harder as well. He says, who should I start between Senesi and Paquetá? I'll start Paquetá. Gotta be. He's on pens, home fixture. I know West Ham suck, but you gotta start him. I can't do maths. 12k is top 10k. The math is not math in there. It starts at 10k, obviously. It starts at 10,000 because there's no rank 0. Yeah, true. That's logical. That makes sense. Wait, if it starts at 1, doesn't that mean 10,001, or is that not the right maths? Is 10,001 top 10k? Hang on, so if it starts at 1, then doesn't it go to 10,001? Is 10,001 top 10k? No. Okay, 10,000 is top 10k. Oh, honestly, I woke up so early this morning. I'm so tired. My brain is not in gear. Oh, dear. Glad FPL worked out for you, lad. Count to 10 on your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10,000 is top 10k, 10,001 is not. That's what I said. Oh dear. Right, let's keep going. Chuka says, are we going to get early Liverpool team news? I'll keep an eye nearer the deadline. Let me check. I asked someone and they said nothing confirmed yet. I think if we get something, it'll be nearer the deadline than right now. There's a good chance we do, but yeah, if we get anything, I'll put it bottom left to where it says who starts, who's benched, and so on. But yeah, nothing at the moment. Oh, it's funny that 10k has not changed as like the benchmark for a good season, despite what I was saying about FPL's growth. I've got a graphic somewhere. Don't know if I'll be able to find it live. Oh, here we go. I mean, top 10k has always been the benchmark of a good season, but like if you actually look, what, 5 years ago, there was 2 million or 2.5 million fewer managers. Like you go back 10 years, there was 7 million fewer managers, so it's like significantly harder to get top 10k, but that's still like the benchmark, isn't it, for a really good FPL season. It does just roll off the tongue better though, doesn't it, than top 0.5% or something. 100k is the new 10k. I think 50k is the new 10k. What team do you support? I'm an Arsenal fan. Right, let me keep going. Skit says, I free hit last week and this week, and they didn't give me my second free transfer. Well, how many transfers did you have, Skits, before you activated it? Because whatever you had before carries over. You don't gain a transfer after you activate it. You just retain how many you had before. So if you had 2 free transfers last week and then you activated the free hit, then you would have 2 this week. So you must have had 1. You might be getting it mixed up that if you have 1 free hit, you go up to 2, but that's not how it works. It just carries over whatever you had before. Yeah, you lost me, Arsenal fan. Damn. What's wrong with being an Arsenal fan? Ollie says Foden 4-3-3 or Murillo 5-2-3. I would start Foden if you got him. Yeah, go Foden. Don't disrespect Arsenal. Oscar, when can we use the triple captainship? I think Haaland in Gameweek 6 is nice, home to Burnley, or you go Salah in like Gameweek 14 when I think he's got Sunderland home, is it? I think Palmer's got Sunderland home as well coming up, but yeah, we'll talk more about triple captain in next week's videos. Jago says, come on you Gunners. My Omar says, Oscar bench 2, Porro Romero as Steven Reinders, Strand Larsen. If I had Strand Larsen, I would start him and just take the chance, honestly. Take the chance that he starts. Maybe he was genuinely injured, but there were reports that he wasn't injured and he just wanted a new contract. And I do think it's interesting timing that yesterday Wolves announced that he signed a new 5-year deal. And then Pereira comes out and says in his press conference that he's available for selection, but not for 90. I mean, because that could be true. If he's missed a few games, then of course he wouldn't be available for 90 anyway, because he hasn't got the fitness from playing matches. So I would take the chance, and then I would start. I'll start Porro, Romero, and Strand Larsen, I would say, and bench the Steven Reinders. Jay donated $1,000. Says start Iwobi or Goodmanson. I would start Iwobi. Has he had a knock or something? What's the deal with Iwobi? I'm sure I saw he was training or something. Oh no, he's played the last 4 in a row. Yeah, I'll start Iwobi. Andreas says, can you count to 10,000 on your fingers, please? That'll be a long stream. I think the deadline will have passed by the time I've finished. So, unfortunately not. Who's the 3 people that like that? Ricardo says, as someone who works long shifts alone, these streams are a lifesaver. I hope everyone does well this game, and I can't wait for the wildcard. Thanks, Focal. Thank you very much, Ricardo. Appreciate it. I'm glad the streams help as well to give you some entertainment for a couple of hours. I can't wait to wildcard as well to get rid of Rodgers and Watkins. I'll forgive them if they do really well this game week, but make no mistake, they have been shocking picks. I still wouldn't be surprised if they go on to do well as well, because after this week they've got Fulham home, Burnley home, 2 home games, but I cannot bring myself to keep them on a wildcard. I'll have Gyökeres, Haaland, and then a cheaper forward as my front 3. VS says, what's your prediction for Chelsea at Old Trafford? I'm going to go a Chelsea win. I think Chelsea probably concede, which I hate to say as a Sanchez owner, but I'll go 2-1 Chelsea. What do you guys reckon for Chelsea v Man United? Scoreline predictions. John, thanks for the super chat as well. What's your transfer plans from Tropical? I'm rolling this week. Rolling. And then wildcarding as soon as the deadline passes in 45 minutes. So, scout selection. Let us know in chat how many players have you got from the team. It's Vicario, Van Dijk, Murillo, Milenkovic, Salah, Gibbs-White, Semenyo, Kudus, Gyökeres, João Pedro and Mateta. So, for me it's Salah. I've got 2. I've only got 2 this week. That's not great. You got 6, 5. What? Everyone's got more than me. What are your teams? I've only got 2. I guess lots you've got Semenyo, haven't you? And Van Dijk. Oh, João Pedro. Yeah. Mladen's got 1. 7, 2, 2, 5, 4, 2, 2, 7, oh no. What do you mean 7, oh no? Starboy McGee, thanks for the 26 months. Says, hi Oscar, should I sell Ekitike for João Pedro this game week? I think I probably wouldn't. I think it's potentially sideways this week. Obviously, keep an eye out for Liverpool news and leaks, because like, if we hear Ekitike doesn't start, then I'd make the move. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I think it's sideways this week. I'm just asking him again about Liverpool leaks. Like it's like similar to last week. He's been told what they're working with in training, but he's not been told the 11. So that could be better than nothing, but it's not concrete. Will you transfer Semenyo in for Gakpo this week? No, definitely not. I would give it 1 more week with Gakpo and then make the switch when Semenyo's got leads. So we got to the bottom of top 10k. Did he wildcard? No, I'm going to wildcard Gameweek 6. So I'll activate it today, in a nutshell. What can stay? Yeah, 1 more week. I'm copywriting 1 more week. That's my catchphrase. 1 more week for Watkins and Rodgers, and then they're gone. Kay says, start 1 of Marlon, Dunk, or Juve. If I knew Marlon was starting, I'd say him. Maybe he does, but I'm not sure if he will. It could be like Watkins and then Sancho, Elliott, Rodgers behind. So, and then Dunk's got Spurs home. Oh. I mean, neither of these are great this week, but if I had to pick one of those, I would say go Juve for the attacking upside. Guesses in the chat. Top scorer of this week. It was Zubimendi, 16 pointer last week. Who do we reckon it's going to be this week? We've got 2,500 tuning in as well, so thank you all for being here. Make sure you hit subscribe below on the stream if you're enjoying this deadline stream today. Yeah, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scoring player? I'm just having a look at the fixtures for my prediction. I'm going to go... I'm thinking maybe someone from Wolves v Leeds. I'll go Strand Larsen and just gamble that Strand Larsen starts. Let me jump back over to chat. What's everyone saying for the top scorer this week? Grealish, Wirtz. Why is everyone saying Wirtz? Marlon, Anderson, Wirtz, Raya. I mean, the Wirtz owners deserve it. This is the week, and I fully sympathise or empathise with Wirtz owners as someone that's got Rodgers and Watkins in my FPL team. Semenyo, Salah, Wood. Kevin. Who the hell is Kevin? Calvert-Lewin. Mateta, Isak. Donnarumma with a goal. Senesi, Rodgers, Garnacho. Yeah, I wonder if Garnacho starts against United. God, that's going to be interesting. He is going to get booed so bad every time he's on the ball. Right, let me keep going with chat. Anurag says, hi Oscar, can you help my team? Sanchez, Richards, Anderson, Porro. So you've got 3 mil on the bank and 3 free transfers. So you're starting... okay. Richards, Anderson, Porro, Williams, Rogers, Bruno, Semenyo, Salah, Pedro, Watkins... I'm not sure you need to spend the transfer. I know you've got 3, but I think, honestly, you roll and then you use 2 or 3 to swap Salah to Haaland next week. So that could be Gw to Haaland, you know, Salah down to a cheap mid like Dewsbury Hall, or maybe a 5.5 mil mid. I think you can afford to roll another week. Probably be Rogers, maybe you sell as part of the Salah to Haaland switch. Or it could be you sell Watkins. That would give you some really good flexibility in midfield to replace Rogers. Yeah, I'd actually roll Anurag in your position. I'd put a step ahead of Reinders on the bench, I think, just about. That's what I've done anyway. Are you rolling this week, Oscar? I am, yeah. I'm going to be rolling the transfer. Is there a chance the 12:30 game is off? People keep mentioning it. Nah, I mean, we were Googling it at the start of the stream, and the forecast... It's like a yellow weather warning. I got just a DM just now, actually. They're probably watching the stream. Let me find it. I think someone just sent me a video from Liverpool. What's this video? Let me mute that in case. Oh, it's a video from their garden. Yeah, it looks very overcast. Someone sent me a video of their garden. It looks like it's raining a bit. And it's overcast. Grey skies. But no, I don't think it's going to be called off, no. Right. Do you want me to do another giveaway for Focal Premium memberships on the app? Yes or no? I can give away 5 premium memberships for the whole season for FPL dot page and the Focal app if you guys would like. Thanks, FPL Forecast. Yes? Alright. Let's do it. Maybe I'll just quickly tweet as well that we're going to give them away. I'll quickly check while I'm on Twitter for any Liverpool news. So we've got 40 minutes till deadline. No, nothing at the moment. Right. Yeah, we'll quickly give these away. So let me find the right screen. So this is a code to use on FPL dot page or the Focal app. The code, you enter it like you're going to check out, but instead it's going to redeem premium membership for the entire remainder of this season. So get ready. The first ones to enter the code will get it. There are 5 up for grabs, and the code is Let's Go. First ones to enter that get premium membership completely free for the whole season. And if you do miss out, it's only like 58p a week. And you get loads for it. You get to hide the ads, dashboard customization, premium features, articles written by me. You can add and remove widgets, change the theme. So if you want to support the project, that's all it costs anyway. But there are free memberships up for grabs. Oh, they're gone already. That was it. That was rapid. Congrats to those that got them. Maybe if I do this, I can quickly showcase some of the stuff. So you've got like articles, live rank checker, bonus points. You can hide completed, by the way. That's a new thing. You can add XG under the fixtures. Defensive points, DCs. Those of you that use the site, what's the pages that you use most? For me, it's bonus points and defensive contributions during the games. Price changes, fixture ticker. You can change it by difficulty, Gameweek range, top 10k stats, team odds, you know, like clean sheet odds, projected goals, player odds. Look, Gyökeres and Salah joint top for projected goals this week. That's quite interesting. Captaincy. And yeah, look, you can do it like this. You can go move up, move down, change the layout, remove widgets. Or you can change the theme even. Anyway, congrats to the 5 that got that. And thank you all for using the site, even if you just use it for free. I appreciate it. Because it's pretty mad to have 278,000 users. Like, that's a staggering number. Don't cut your head to Arsenal win a trophy. Mate, that guy, I'm pretty sure I read, even if his thing was if Man United win back-to-back games in the league, he still wouldn't have cut his hair yet, because that's how bad their run's been. That might be wrong. I don't know how he's going to ever get to 5 in a row. Like, his hair's already massive. He's got a proper afro already. I don't know how he's going to get to 5. Anyway. Enshock says, hey, Enshock here. Chalobah or Ndiaye? I'm going to roll. Chalobah or Ndiaye? I'll probably start Ndiaye. I don't think Chelsea's clean sheet chances are that high at Old Trafford. I know United are shocking, but I'd rather just start Ndiaye and hope he gets an attack in return. Maybe a jammy pen. Curtis, thanks very much for the super chat as well. Stanislav says, start 1 out of Barnes, Reinders and Van den Ven. For some reason, my head immediately went to Burnley's Barnes then. That's obviously Harvey Barnes, I assume. In which case, I'd start Barnes. Dane Denny says, triple captain Watkins, he's scoring. Mate, I hope you're right. I've held on to him for 5 game weeks and he's not done anything for me. Triple captain Watkins. Not sure about that. I really hope it comes off though, because I've got him and he's killing me. Bruno or Evanilson? Bruno. It was Harvey Barnes. Perfect. Yeah, start him. Start Murillo or Kirkes? Kirkes. Does Kirkes start? Then I think there's a chance Robertson plays this one. I'd go Murillo, I think. It's such a close one. I'd go Murillo. Just in case Robertson starts against Everton. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Slot does that. Salah or Wood captain? Wood for me personally. You can see on the experts captaincy, 84% of them went Salah this week. Are you going to wildcard tonight? I am, yeah. Wildcard's getting activated later today. Harry says start Porro over Juve. Do you agree? Yeah, I would agree with that. Munoz 12 points incoming. Hopefully not. He's highly owned and I don't have him. I'm sorry to say if you've got him. Lucas says Sales or Dubravka in goal and playing Estev. I would go Sales, personally. If anyone's got 50-50s on keepers or defenders or something like that, here's the clean sheet odds. So Liverpool 38%, Villa 36%, Arsenal, Forest 31%, Burnley 22%. So yeah, Sales. I would agree with that. A1 says bench boost, Sanchez, Reinders, Dewsbury Hall and Gw. No, I would save it. Dewsbury Hall, you'd be very lucky to get something from him at Anfield, and Gew's going to play. I mean, it's not out of the question for him to start. He might actually fit this game, but I wouldn't chance it with Gw. I think you might get a 1-pointer from him. I mean, it actually wouldn't surprise me if Gw starts this one, just because he's such a high pressing forward. But I think he won't, so I wouldn't bench boost that. AM says start Bruno, Neto or Van de Ven. Got to be Bruno. Always start Bruno. Whoever he's got, start him. He's good for DCs, set pieces, the odd pen. Always start Bruno. Suresh, thanks for the 23 months. Says, hey, a Richarlison for Evanilson. Are you saying sell Richarlison for Evanilson? I think if Richarlison will start this game, so I would leave him. And if you've got Evanilson, I definitely wouldn't go from him to Richarlison. Victor says, is there a better way to support you than Super Chats or FPL subs? Not really. Not really, I don't know. Never thought about it really. Feel free to DM me, like, we'll work something out. Carly says, how well will Forest adapt to Angie's attacking system from Nuno's defensive setup? Is that why you're removing Anderson in the wildcard? I haven't got Anderson. I've got Anderson in defence, but that's Fulham's Anderson. But yeah, I just think Forest are a swerve. Like, I know they've got Sunderland home, and if I wasn't wildcarding, I'd be keeping Murillo for that game. I just think longer term, it doesn't make sense to keep hold. I think there's better picks, especially when Murillo's like 5.5 mil. But yeah, if you're not wildcarding, you definitely keep Wood for the next two. Same with the defenders and Anderson, to be fair. But yeah, long term, I just don't like them as picks. You're wildcarding now. I'm wildcarding after the deadline, so Game Week 6 wildcard. Morning, baby cheese. Baby cheese. I thought I said cheese. I was like, what? So I missed Brian's question. Hey man, why'd you wildcard tonight rather than midweek? Because of price changes. There's going to be some tonight. I'm not sure who's close. Let me have a look. Yeah, like Timber's looking like rising tonight. You're not going to be able to see that, are you? Voltamada, Salah. So Raya's getting close. So I'll probably just chuck Timber in case I end up with him. I'll chuck Raya in. Gabriel. Don't think he'll go up tonight. But who's close to falling? Gw might fall tonight. Are you joking? Oh, Murillo as well. Yeah, that's why. Like, that's a potential 0.3 mil swing in team value just tonight. So, I mean, and Dye falling is crazy. I'm surprised by that. He's on like 20 points. Like, Nico Williams could fall. Right, Reinders. I mean, I'm going to keep him anyway, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, there's a potential 0.2, 0.3 million swing by me using it tonight rather than waiting. So it makes sense to use it. Carly says, oh sorry, I did that one. It was Nick who said start Kudus or Esteve and Captain Haaland or Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer. I'd captain Palmer over Haaland and I'd start Kudus over Esteve. Roderick, thanks for becoming a FPL Focal member as well. Thank you very much, Roderick. Appreciate the support. And Ed says 2 to bench: Van der Ven, Munoz, Esteve, Williams, and Juve. You want the clean sheet odds? Alright, I'll put those on screen for a sec. Two to bench. I'd bench Juve and I'd bench Van der Ven. AM says start Pedro Neto or Van der Ven. I would, I think I'd start Neto just about and hope that he starts. I think he probably does. Much higher ceiling than Van der Ven. I know last week Van der Ven scored, but he'll probably do that once or twice all season. Buggy Board says bench Dorgu, Aaron Ramsey and Wan-Bissaka. Do I roll 3.2 mil? Is that your rank or money in the bank? Really, I need to know your starting 11 to advise and roll him. Did I miss another message? Yeah, I can't really help you with that one without knowing your starting 11. I do think, if you just look at the fixtures this week compared to 6, it is a roll week if you can. Like, you've got Arsenal v City this week, and then in Game Week 6 you might want to pivot from Liverpool assets to Man City assets. So it is a roll week in general, I would say, yeah. EO says Bruno or Watkins captain. Oh, if I had to pick one, I think I'd still go Watkins, but I don't like either. He's got Sunderland. Villa cannot keep not scoring forever, surely. Eventually they're going to score, and Watkins is going to score. But I'm not a big fan of either. I'd rather captain Salah. I'd rather captain Palmer. Maybe even Haaland over those two. It can. Sunk cost fallacy. But it is maybe a little bit of sunk cost fallacy, but also teams naturally have to turn it around. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the worse it gets, the more motivated they are to like kind of think, come on, like let's just sort this out. We need to just click and start scoring and so on. I don't know. Maybe they'll go another 10 weeks without scoring. AMX says, I've got a fun pick tonight if Dewsbury Hall can get 12 defensive contributions plus a bonus attack and return against Liverpool. I'll be honest, I think you're going to be really lucky if he gets 12. Maybe he'll get the DCs, but an attack and return against Liverpool as well. Maybe. He's actually in my wildcard draft though. This is what I'm looking like for Game Week 6 currently. I've actually got him in there because Game Week 6, it's West Ham home, Palace home. I think for 5 mil, playing as a 10 for Everton, I think he's a nice pick. There are some more boring DEFCON picks like Stack and like Xhaka and those guys, but I think he's quite a nice pick for 5 mil playing as a 10 for Everton. If you make transfers and then wildcard later in the week, do you get your transfers back? You do indeed, Andrew. Yeah, if anyone ever accidentally takes a hit, you can still wildcard or free hit to wipe that. AM says, in order, start 2, Richards, Nico and Van der Ven. Is that Nico Williams? I'd go Williams, then Richards and then Van der Ven. Oh, Victor, thanks for the super chat. Damn, that's very generous of you. Thank you very much, Victor. Appreciate that. Get the confetti cannon out for that one. Appreciate your support, Victor. Thank you. Does Ekatike start? Let me see if he said anything. Nothing at the moment. I'll check Twitter as well. No, nothing at the moment. We've got 24 minutes till deadline, so I shall keep an eye. Right, let's flick back over. $23 minutes till deadline. Thanks again, Victor, for that. Appreciate you. Salah captain is getting punished this game week. Alright, let's take a captain poll up then. Who's the best captain? Who are you captaining? Salah, Palmer, Haaland, and other? So, as always, tell us who your other is if that's who you pick. Otherwise, get your votes in on those options. Oh. Been another good fun stream. Really enjoyed this. Keep the questions coming. Semenyo captain. Gakpo benched. I hope that's not true. What would it be? Ekatike left wing, Isak striker? Surely not. Who are the most bought players anyway? Let's have a look. God, Semenyo's got another 1 million owners. Oh my god, I cannot have him scoring this week. I'm guessing, who have you guys bought this week? I'm guessing a lot of you have bought Semenyo. Has anyone bought anyone other than Semenyo? 1 million, almost 1.1 million have bought Semenyo. Van der Ven, 500,000. And same with Gw5, Haaland, Palmer, Caicedo, João Pedro. Oh, João Pedro's ownership is scaring me as well. Senesi, Voltemada, Xavi. Alright, what about most sold? Ekatike, 8 Nori, Aina Verts, Reinders, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, Kudus, Wood, Johnson, Watkins. Come on, Watkins, punish the sellers, please. I'm begging you. Alderete. What? You're captaining the Sunderland defender? I don't believe you. Richards. What are these captains? Semenyo, Watkins, Semenyo. Raya captain against Man City. I don't believe you either. Evan Nilsson. João Pedro captain. Bumo captain. I mean, the poll is pretty one-sided. 68% Salah. Novus, thanks for the 35 months. Says start Dubravka or Sanchez, captain Bruno or Haaland. I think Dubravka and Sanchez is a genuine coin toss this week. I've gone Sanchez, but I think It's genuinely like flip a coin decision. I'm on Sanchez, but yeah, Burnley have got the home fixture. The clean sheet odds are like 2-3% in favour of Burnley. It's that close. Bruno or Haaland? I'd say Haaland if I was picking either of those. Ayamide says, is it worth getting Palmer for Bruno or a roll? Yeah, if you can do that in one move for free, I would. Otherwise, probably not this week. Don't know if that's worth 2 transfers. If you can do it for one move for free, yeah, Palmer's an upgrade for sure. I'm aiming to have both on my Gameweek 6 wildcard, though, I should say. Nat The1 says, I've got 3.5 mil in the bank on one free transfer. Should I go Sarr to Semenyo or Sarr to Palmer and I'll captain him? And Murillo to Senesi -4, planning to wildcard Gameweek 7. I don't know if would I take a -4? Probably not. Like Murillo could play, and he's got Burnley, and then he's got Sunderland home in Gameweek 6, and then you're wildcarding anyway. So you got 2 weeks to get the -4 back. I'd probably just do the Semenyo move for free, not the one, and play it a bit more safe and sensible. Conrad Lamb says start 2 out of Reinders, Cucurella, and Porro. I would start Cucurella and Porro. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, I've got Reinders benched. And I'm starting Porro. Again, very close this week. I've seen Reinders in a lot of starting 11s. I've seen him on lots of benches. Same with like Sanchez versus Dubravka. But that's what I've gone with. Mark says, hi Oscar, to facilitate last week's Wan-Bissaka to Burn, I did Caicedo to Harvey Elliott for free. Could I break the cardinal FPL role of bringing Caicedo back in this week for Paquetá? I'm 80% for it. Good luck, everyone. I wouldn't do that, Mark. What is he? He's home to West Ham. He's on pens. I wouldn't be selling Paquetá myself. I would be 80% against it rather than for it. No Liverpool leaks at the moment, for those asking. Edsty says, captain Gibbs, White, Watkins or Gakpo. Bench 1 out of Esteve and Murillo. Gibbs, White, Watkins and Gakpo. I mean, if I had to pick one of those 3, I would go Watkins, which sounds mad since they haven't scored yet, but I think he's probably the best one of those 3. You must have better players to captain though, surely. Have you not got Salah or Palmer or Haaland? Gakpo to Semenyo if Isak starts. Yeah, if Isak's starting and there's a leak that Gakpo's benched, then yeah, I would do that. Right, I'm just going to fill up my water. I'll be back in 2 secs. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Gone for the vodka. At 10:44 in the morning. Where's the cat? Oh, I forgot about the cat. Sorry. Yeah, all he's heard so far is what they're lining up with in training. But he says that's not the confirmed lineup. That's just based on what they've been lining up with training. So in training it's been Ekitike up front, but it's not the confirmed lineup. So he wanted to emphasise that. I'll keep checking Twitter as well, because there's lots of Liverpool accounts. So someone might say something near the deadline. Right, sorry, let me catch up with chat. So Garion asks Johnson to Palm with 1 free transfer. Yeah, if you can do that with 1 free transfer, Garion, I would do that. That's a really nice upgrade. Yeah, I would do that for sure. Leighton and Justine says 3 forwards for wildcard 5, Oscar. Depends if you need to bench boost, first of all. I would definitely have Haaland. I would definitely have Gyökeres. And the third, it depends on if you've bench boosted or not. I prefer a 3-5-2, and then you go for a 4.4 mil forward. You don't have to go Gw. There's loads of 4.4 mil forwards, but one of those if you don't need to bench boost, and I'd play a 3-5-2. Alternatively, you could go Haaland, Gyökeres, and then your third forward is someone like João Pedro. That's also good. Oblivious says, I'm on wildcard 6, bench boost 7. Would you pick Kudus or Gakpo? I do prefer Gakpo to Kudus. It's going to be really interesting to see what Slot does and whether Ekitike or Isak are actually threats to Gakpo's minutes at all, or whether it's just Gakpo versus Ngumoa. There was an interesting quote from Slot the other day. I think it's before the Champions League. He basically, it was kind of hinting that Ekitike and Isak are just going to be used as strikers, but I still think they could be used out on the left here and there. Obviously, Ekitike does drift to the left more. Yeah, I think Ekitike starts as well. I don't think Isak starts this one. Day 15 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. Julian Orr, thanks very much for becoming a member as well. Thank you very much, Julian, for your support. So yeah, I'd rather Gakpo. I was picking either of those. Treble says 8 Nori to Munoz, bench Dewsbury Hall, or roll and start Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, I would sell 8 Nori. I'd rather buy Gabriel if you can afford him. If you can't afford him, so it really depends, Treble. If you can buy Gabriel next week, even if you can't this week, by rolling, if that makes sense. Like if you were to spend 2 transfers in Gameweek 6 to buy Gabriel and sell someone else somewhere, that's better than buying Munoz now, in my opinion, longer term. I think, personally, it's just my opinion, but at a minimum, you need 1 Arsenal defensive coverage from Gameweek 7. Obviously, I'm wildcarding Gameweek 6 after the deadline today, so I'll have double from Gameweek 6. So that's also a factor. Like longer term, although Munoz is nice this week, I would rather roll if it means you can buy Gabriel in Gameweek 6 with 2 free transfers. Or if you can buy Gabriel now, I'd honestly just do it now, even though he's got Man City. Wex says, hey Oscar, I've got no Haaland and Salah. I need a captain between Gyökeres, Bruno and Semenyo. It's on Bruno. I love the content in the app. Keep it up. Thank you, Wex. So you've got no Haaland, no Salah, and you're trying to pick between those. I wouldn't captain Semenyo. I know he's smashing it, but I don't think he's on the same level for captaincy as Bruno or Gyökeres. Interestingly, Gyökeres is joint top with Salah this week for projected goals. Look. 0.55. Salah's on the same. What about goal involvement? So, in terms of goal involvement, Gyökeres 0.64. Where's Bruno? 0.51. Yeah, it'll have to be Gyökeres. That's what the data says. If you're a database manager, it certainly says Gyökeres. What about the captain widget on the app? Bruno. If I was picking either, I would say Gyökeres, just because it could be a nice open game, that one. But it's very close. It could be a nice open game. I hope, as a Gyökeres owner. Watkins captain, trust the process. Liverpool news check. Nothing at the moment. The Liverpool guy I know, he has someone on the inside at training, but they've only told him what they've been using in training and not the actual lineup for the game. Like, he will get it, I just don't know if he's going to get it in the next 10 before the deadline. And it's not a confirmed lineup, he emphasised. But in training it's been Ekitike up front. But he pointed out that last week Bradley was starting a right back in training, and then when he got the actual lineup, it was McAllister. But I mean, I would expect Ekitike to start, given that he didn't start in the Champions League. Just refreshed on the player odds widget. You'll notice we just literally pushed an update live. You see it here now. We've added flags filter. It's because before we were showing like red flag players. So for those of you that use this page, we've literally just now, while I've been speaking, added a flag filter. So like, if you don't want to see certain flags on player odds, that's fine. Because obviously sometimes the bookies give you odds on players that are literally out. Like, you sometimes see Saka on here. Like, there he is, Saka. Like, it's not very useful to see Saka's on 0.29 projected goals against City when he's out. So by default now there's some flags on players out. That's another little feature there that we've just added on the Focal app and FPL page. Heike says, hi Oscar, start Rodon or do Sarr to Xavi. I can't help but think there's going to be better options than Xavi. It's too early to say though. I just think maybe there's going to be better picks if you roll with Rodon, and then reassess next week. I could be totally wrong on Xavi, but I'd rather roll and wait and see if he definitely is the one to have, or if there's better options. Because transfers are so precious, and you spend one on Xavi now and he ends up a mistake. You kind of just, you're bedded to that. Wedded to that. Bedded? Wedded. I think I probably wouldn't go there. I think I'd just roll with Rodon against Wolves. Xavi Simmons. Isn't he called Xavi on the app? What should I call him? Simmons. Carliga, thanks for the 30 months. He says, Dubravka or Russ starting a Steven Reinildo. Dubravka, 22% clean sheet odds. Where's Sunderland? 24. So there's nothing in it. I would go Dubravka, I think, honestly. Very close to that, but I'd go Dubravka. You got Reinildo anyway. Yeah, I'd go Dubravka. C-Tie16 says, Wildcard 6 planned, but I've got one free transfer for this week. I'm tempted to move Rodgers for Yeremy Pino. What are your thoughts? He's looked sharp and passed the eye test, super differential. The thing is, now that we can roll transfers over in wildcards, it massively changes the upside of spending transfers before you wildcard. To me, when Rodgers has got Sunderland, it's not worth selling him for a 1 week punt when you could carry 2 transfers through on your wildcard, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't do that personally. I am refreshing the background for Liverpool news. There's nothing at the moment. I'm sorry for those that want it. Oh, I need to tweet my team as well. I'll quickly do that. Game week 5, roll the transfer, wildcard, and as soon as the deadline passes, good luck all. Salah captain, Gyökeres vice. Maybe I should go Bruno vice. I've already tweeted it now, so I can't change that. But I could change my actual team on vice captain. Those of you that are on the same setup, have you gone Bruno vice? Yeah, I'll just do that. Right, back to chat. Haaland or Bruno captain? I think Haaland, if I had those. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So Salah captain, Bruno vice. Hopefully I don't get cancelled for changing my vice captain. J Banduve says, bench boost, Dubravka, Gummerson, Tozy and Dewsbury Hall or Sarr Spurs. No, I wouldn't. I don't think I would bench boost that. It would be Dewsbury Hall on your bench. It's close to being bench boostable, but I don't think I would do that. I think I'd save it if I were you. Rio says, why are you benching Reinders and should I go Verts to Cole? If you can do that for one move for free, Rio, I'd say that's worth it. Yeah, Cole's a definite upgrade on Verts. I don't know, I just think Arsenal are the best defence in the league. And I think his chances of getting a goal involvement are fairly low for a fixture like that away at the Emirates. So I think it just about makes sense to bench him. But yeah, it's one of those, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he does get something. I think he got an assist in the Champions League, didn't he, midweek? Victor, thanks for the super chat as well. Appreciate you. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get anything. 3 minutes till deadline. Bench boost, Sanchez, Esteve, Reinders and Anderson. I'd bench boost that, yeah. Sanchez, Esteve, Reinders and Anderson's good. I think that's just about the tipping point to be worth it. Flandy in the chat, expect to know red this week, but totally fine. 69% are going Salah captain, 8% Palmer, 9% Haaland, 14% other. Thank you all for voting on the poll. Wow, 4,000 tuned in as well. Thank you all for being here. Do hit subscribe below if you are enjoying the stream before you'll disappear in 2 minutes time as the deadline passes. I hope you'll smash at this game at Big Green Arrows. Oblivious, thanks for becoming a member as well. And thank you, Victor. JH says, pick 2 out of Nico, Esteve, Reinders and Anderson. I would go Nico and Anderson out of those. Esteve ahead of Reinders on the bench. For those that tuned in late, I'm rolling the transfer. And then as soon as the deadline passes, I'm wildcarding. So tomorrow, I'll do my usual transfer plans video breaking down all the takeaways, the actions from this weekend's games, and then my current wildcard draft for Game Week 6. And I'm going to be looking to bench boost in 7 or 8. So an exciting few game weeks ahead. The FPL GOAT, all eyes on Watkins and Rodgers. Honestly, if they can just give me anything as a parting gift, I'll be happy. Yeah, no Liverpool leaks by the looks of it. So sorry for those that were hoping for that. I don't know what's happened with the Liverpool leaks. Have they plugged them all? Maybe we'll get them after the deadline. There used to be loads last season, but it's been a bit quieter for leaks this season. I don't think Isak starts, personally, anyway. Floopy says he does. Do you consider Palmer as a captain is risky? No, I think he's a sound pick for captaincy this week. Your triple captain is Salah. Good luck to Ace on triple captain Salah. Train says Ekitike starting probably. I mean, he was benched in the Champions League. It would be quite harsh for him to be benched twice in a row. Do you put a team into challenge or do you just play regular? Yeah, I did last season actually. I managed to get top 10k in challenge and actual FPL, so I'll try and go for the double top 10k, but it's not looking good at my current rank. But the season is long and the deadline has passed, so good luck everyone. Those of you that are about to disappear, thank you for being here. Do hit subscribe below before you go if you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you'll get massive green arrows this game. If anyone's got any questions, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. The deadline's passed, so can't ask any questions about this game week now. That's it. If anyone's not got the Focal app, that's free. Search FPL Focal in the app stores, or there's a link below for that. We've got lots of new goodies coming. James, thanks very much for your super chat as well. Appreciate you, James. Merkava says, love you, Harry, bye. That's the wrong stream, but thank you. Wildcard stream now. I mean, I can show you where I'm at with the wildcard draft. That's the wildcard draft as it stands. So it's Raya, Dubravka, Rodon, Anderson, Gabriel, Senesi, Romero, Palmer, Semenyo, Dewsbury Hall, Reinders, Bruno, Haaland, Foster, and Gyökeres. This is for Game Week 6, not 5. Wildcard stream now. I mean, I'd have to be here for like another 45 minutes, so I'm not going to do that. What are the chances you keep Salah on a wildcard? I think 20%, Andrew, honestly. I'd say that. Love you, Ross. Also the wrong stream, but thank you, FPL Gw5. So yeah, that's the current Game Week 6 wildcard team. So I'd be selling Salah for Haaland in a nutshell and bringing Palmer. So I'll have 2 premiums back in. And then, not sure on bench boost yet, and this is still an early draft, but it'd be a bench boost in 7 or 8. I can't see myself saving it for longer than that. Thank you, Andy. All good. Play Wordle while we wait. I love Wordle. Is Wordle still actually popular? I thought I was in the minority that still plays Wordle. Love you, Potato. I still play Wordle every night, you know. Wordle. Do you have to make an account to do it online? Should we have a quick smash out of Wordle? Alright, starting word. Starting word. What do we start with? And then we'll wrap the stream up after that. But I need a good starting word. Love you, Dan. Love you, FPL Bin. James says, in FPL Challenge, Liverpool and Everton players get ×2 thoughts. Yeah, you have to load up them. Feast. Also, we got the F right. Wow. That's an interesting starting word. Hefty. Oh no, we can't have that. What would the F be? I was thinking hefty, but it's not because the T's bim. Focal. Oh, I should have done focal. Damn. This is actually quite a difficult one. No, it can't be selves. The S has been. It can't be knife. I think it was knife yet last night or the day before. You reckon they've gone double R with refer? It could be defer, refer. I think they're going to go defer. Called it. Called it. Defer. Come on, we just got a 2. Right. I know, I can't believe they didn't start with focal. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Probably not, but a 2 on Wordle is a great end to the stream. So thank you all for being here. We will leave it there. I hope you all smash it this game week. Big green arrows, huge scores. Transfer plans and wildcard video to come tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend's games. That's it from me. Focal out.